and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcy McNeil, Digital Media Supervisor with Mobile County Public Schools. And today we are technically speaking with educator from Baker High School, Mr. Justin Tolbert. And hi, Mr. Tolbert.
Hello.
And I say educator because I had to stop because you have like, what, 3 roles? Tell us everything you do.
Well, I do broadcast journalism for Baker. I'm part of the technology team to assist repairing computers around campus. I also teach pre-capstone English 10. I'm responsible for the morning announcements, eSports coach. Yeah, the list goes on and on.
So, educator.
Right.
Educator extraordinaire. We're all at home now, and it really, you're probably one of the rare teachers that you can do it from home because you have always incorporated technology in your lessons. And recently, you've kind of gone viral a little bit because you started putting a couple of lessons on your social network. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Twitter, I've really gotten into Twitter this really in the past year, trying to build my own profile, build my own online presence. And I figured I use it a little bit for personal stuff because I post stuff like date night with the wife, but a lot of it is just my thoughts on the career and the field, education, but also put a lot of stuff out there for my students. I have a few students that actually follow me. So I'll put something on Twitter that I thought was funny from class, and then they'll talk to me about it the next day. So it's just kind of putting myself out there, making myself marketable, and let everybody know kind of who I am. And then hopefully that pays off in the future.
I think it will. I think it's made a big difference. You've got a lot of grown-ups looking at it and learning about possessive nouns and things. Speaking of which, can you kind of give some tips to teachers who are hesitant about using video or any type of digital way of connecting with their students, but they kind of need to, especially dealing with high schoolers?
Right. The best thing about things being digital is you can always delete it and redo it. You don't have to have those moments where a word slips in class and all the kids hear it and they all kind of laugh at you. When it's digital, you film it, and if you mess up, you just delete it and start over. So that is the best perk of doing video lessons. The other thing too is students are really pretty forgiving. Although the internet is forever and you put some things out there that may be a little embarrassing, they're usually pretty forgiving when it comes to digital video, because with a lot of the videos that they watch on YouTube or Snapchat or Instagram or anything like that, they are rough cuts of video. They're really not watching a lot of the things that are polished anyways. So as an educator that's just getting into trying to do video for the students, just do your best, give yourself some grace, get some good lighting and a good microphone, and you're good to go.
Don't forget that good lighting.
Right.
That's very important. Well, I think that will help because you deal with high schoolers, and I was just telling you before we start this interview, how do you deal with high schoolers? How can you reach them? You have a high schooler at home and a middle schooler. As a parent, what do you do?
So at home, we definitely started a routine. I had to give them a schedule. The students they see this as break time. And what I told my students before we went on the break was just be in a productive growth mindset. Just always be looking to flex your muscle in your head, making sure that you're constantly looking to grow and improve. And although things are a little lax at home for my kids this week, we do have to have a routine where we put electronics away. We spend an hour for reading. So my high schooler, she spends an hour reading a book, whereas my middle schooler will do 30 minutes of iReady reading, iReady math. And then we have a little bit of a break. We do some chores around the house so mom doesn't get upset when she comes home. And then we also have some Nearpod time broken in the afternoon. So we have that spread out. We also have time for like crafts and art. So my son likes to draw. My daughter really likes crafts. So I've gone to Hobby Lobby and purchased a lot of stuff. So we come home and we present all that, and they can do with that what they will. It's just as long as they're having time, but not completely focused on the phone or the tablet or the TV, and we still have that time where they're focused on improving themselves and growing their mind. That's really the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I like that, to keep a routine, because it's important, and children they grow better when they have something to do and they know when to do it, and just follow that routine. That's
right. I feel like they crave structure. And even though they want to rebel against it at times, you think about their regular school day is nothing but structure. They know at the same time every day they go to the same class and they go to lunch at the same time. So if we can try to mimic that at home, obviously tweak it a little bit, then I think that's going to be beneficial in the long run.
So tell me, I know you've kind of connected with your in-class students as far as English, that sort of thing. What about your sports, your eSports? How are you guys connecting? How's that done?
Yeah, so eSports, we're actually very privileged right now because we are able to compete from home with self-quarantine. So It's not like the football team who has to meet together to practice. So we're actually able to compete from home. Play Versus and the AHSAA has been very gracious in that, allowing us to continue our season. However, because eSports has the gatekeeper of technology, not a lot of students, particularly in our country or our state, have access to adequate technology at home. So if we're ever slated to compete against a team who cannot compete from home, we would just reschedule that to try to fit it in later on in the season if possible. But as long as the other team's able to compete from home and we can compete from home, we're going to continue our season.
That is so cool. Is Baker the only one holding the eSports? Is there another high school that has eSports?
So in Mobile County, Davidson, Citronelle, MGM, and Alma Bryant are the ones that I know of for sure. And then we also, McGill-Tulane is also doing it as well as far as a local. And then there are some across the Bay as well. But for our county public schools, that is the list.
Talk about headed to the future. Do you think this is something that's going to be pretty much in every school in about?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's no stopping it. Really, it's another avenue for students to take to be able to, get what they want out of their future. Esports is probably not going to be the end for a lot of these students, but it could be the means to an end. It could be one of those where they can use esports as a catapult into college, because they are offering scholarships for esports students, so they can get into a college through esports, also network with kids, get to know a lot more people through esports while also working on their degree path. Now there are also avenues of esports for students to be able to have careers through that don't involve college, but again, those the percentage of success drops drastically when you take college out of it. So we're definitely pushing them on the path of, you can use this as a way to get yourself scholarships, more money for college, and they can even pursue a degree route that has to do with electronics and gaming. It's there. The industry's booming. There's no slowing it down, and everybody else just needs to get on board.
Well, that gives me hope as a parent, since it seems like my child is going to try to be the best gamer in the world. I might make him enroll in your class. I don't know, but I think that will help a lot of parents out there who are afraid that their children are just falling into the games. They can take it to the next level, so that's a good thing. What do you have planned for when you go back to school? This seems like it's a new way of learning, and it's opened up a lot of doors for the way teachers are going to be educating. I mean, a lot of them now might be uploading videos. What's your next step?
So I've really fallen in love with Microsoft Teams. I use that. I've been using it with my students throughout the school year. It's an easy way for me to upload all of my lessons, all my PowerPoints, all of my documents, and the kids can access it anytime. It also has threads where they can post questions and I can answer them. My videos that I've been putting on Twitter, I also put on Teams, so students can view them there and then reply, so it's not out for the world to see. It's just within our team, and I'm going to continue to do that. I think that it's showing the kids that I'm willing and to be available, even when after the bell rings, and still be there for them. I think says a lot. I think that they realize that I am for them and I am on their side, and I want them to succeed, and I'm willing to take the steps to help them succeed. If that means it being a little convenient and having to take a time away from home in order to help them out. That's what I signed up for. That's what all the educators signed up for.
Well, that's what you guys do anyway. You guys do a lot anyway. So
I'm hoping to take that back to when we return back to school, bring teams and make that more of an interactive class tool throughout the week, as opposed to it being students can access it if they miss a day, because currently that's what I've been doing. If a student misses a day, they can go on Teams and get everything they missed that day. But now that we're in this interesting experiment where we're teaching from home and students are learning from home, then it's kind of make me expand my mind a little bit and try new things. So I think we can take that and adapt it for once we are back in person meeting with students, and just continue that moving forward.
I think that's a great idea. And I think teachers who weren't as open to technology before are going to have to get on board. So we thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to see you, and you stay safe out there amongst your teenagers. And your wife is still working?
Yeah, she's actually working from home. She got the word yesterday that they will be all working from home. So she's in the office right now. So I came in the bedroom. So I don't have my nice set behind me. But I figured I'd put some pictures from our wedding.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for technically talking with us today, Mr. Tolbert.
You're welcome.
Out there, and we'll look for you on social. How can everyone see you on social network?
So on Twitter, it's Justin Tolbert _. And so if you don't mind my little personal maxims, I'll throw out there anything I learned from reading, and then I'll put some videos out there for my students. So you're welcome to join in and comment all you like.
I love it. It's entertaining. We really enjoy it. Thanks for talking to us. You take care.
Thanks. You too.